Bhaobhan Sidhe. I don't know about the pronunciation of that. Gas chamber music. The man behind Bhaobhan Sidhe, consciousite Dominus Arcula, committed suicide on August 8th, 2008, on his 35th birthday. Since 3 plus 5 equals 8, that's a quadruple 8 for his suicide date. 8888. Now here's the compilation of his material called Gas Chamber Music. Oh my. If that didn't convince you the guy is pro-level nutso, the music certainly will. For what it's worth, despite the numbers, I don't think this is political music. You think you may need some screwdriver if you have that many screws loose, but one of the main requirements for politics is that you'd actually want something out of this world. And I think consciousite in his lifetime already drifted too far off into another for that to be the case. An outro called Barbarism consists of a sample of an interview with an extermination camp barber about giving haircuts in an extermination camp. Auschwitz, I assume, since that's the one everybody knows. And it's like the best Nazi sample ever. Forget Goebbels' Total War samples, gotta listen to a guy giving an in-depth explanation of cutting Auschwitz inmates' hair. Welcome to Bhaobhan Sidhe. What do you call this exactly? Black ambient, like that French Black Legion stuff? Except in the final stages of cerebral cancer. It's something like that, black ambient mixed with bizarrely upbeat martial industrial elements that sound like very old Looney Tunes soundtracks reinterpreting early Leibach on a cheap keyboard. There's some really primitive and demented black metal stuff from the first demo, about as raw and simplistic as it gets, but I am personally more than okay with it only lasting 4 tracks. Because while not bad, the real attraction here is the style there's another guy, I know nothing about him, and he has no double 88 suicide to show for either. Found after that brief initial period. Only the raspy vocals remain. There's just something so delightfully creepy about how messed up it all is. I know a track by an ambient band called Nazi UFO Commander that talks about how people from Aldebaran are taking over Earth after they discovered the Nazis copied their UFO designs. But Bhaobhan Sidhe goes further off the deep end than even that. And that's without even knowing any of the lyrics, if there are any. There's a lot of Holocaust-related stuff in the titles, but it's the music that makes it so bizarre. So cartoonish, somewhere in the middle between suffocatingly dark evil and dumbfoundingly ridiculous. It makes me imagine flesh-eating Nazi zombies more than anything, or the thing from The Thing ravaging a concentration camp, or the doctor from Braindead. I don't know if it's a classic by any means, but it stands out as one of the weirdest outgrowths of the early black metal scene. As the most outlandish of all the black ambient dungeon synth side projects that came along with the flourishing second wave. I like it a lot because it gives me the chills with how cartoonishly it treats such a grave subject matter, and how perverse an atmosphere one can create with a simple mix of black ambient and cheesy lo-fi martial industrial elements. It's an essential all-time favorite for me, and something I warmly recommend to all those curious about the strangest things that came from the forming years of black metal.